Hey there, I'm Vaishnavi MR, and in today's podcast, we will be talking about interoperability or standard issues. Did you know that interoperability is the most basic core value in the traditional internet? The first requirement of internet connectivity is that connected systems be able to talk the same language of protocols and encodings. And are you aware that interoperability are so fundamental that the early workshops for internet equipment vendors were called interops? And the very goal of the entire Internet Standards apparatus centered on the Internet Engineering Task Force IETF. Interoperability is also a cornerstone of the open Internet. Barriers deliberately erected to obstruct the exchange of information can deny Internet users the ability to connect, speak, share, and innovate, which are four of ISOC's fundamental principles. Beyond the technical aspects, interoperability has significant influence on the potential economic impact of IoT. The implementation of existing standards and development of new open standards will necessarily help lower barriers to entry, facilitate new business models, and build economies of scale. Also, interoperability is fundamentally valuable from the perspective of both the individual consumer and organizational user of these devices. It facilitates the ability to choose devices with the best features at the best price and integrate them to make them work together. Purchasers may be hesitant to buy IoT products and services if there is integration inflexibility and high ownership complexity and concern over vendor lock in. Let's get ahead with key considerations and challenges in IoT interoperability and standards. Interoperability standards, protocols, and conventions are a primary issue in the early development and adoption of IoT devices. There are a number of key considerations and challenges like proprietary ecosystems and consumer research, technical and cost constraints, schedule risk, technical risk, devices behaving badly, legacy systems, configurations, and proliferation of standards efforts. The time and investment required by the industry and other stakeholders to participate in the wide range of standardization efforts will likely be costly. Further, there is likely to be overlapping and even conflicting standardization strategies between some efforts. In addition to increasing the cost of standard development, the absence of coordination across efforts could ultimately produce conflicting protocols, delay product deployment, and lead to fragmentation across IoT products, services, and industry verticals. Overall, the importance of IoT interoperability and standards to the market and consumers is undeniable. Ultimately, the challenges of developing and employing interoperability standards is central to the discussion of innovation, competition, and user choice of services, which are embedded in ISOC's core principles. And on this note, I have something for you to research on. Ask yourself, what is the best approach to educate and engage user and developer communities about the problems of badly behaving IoT devices and lack of standards implementations? In the next podcast, you'll be listening more about IoT. And on this note, this is Vaishnavi signing off.